The CyberIrishman is just back from Beijing, China. Let's talk about the highlights. I got to Beijing on the bullet train from Shanghai, which took about 4.5 hours. Whilst there, I went on a guided tour of Tiananmen Square and the Forbidden City, which is massive. You could easily spend a full day there. I went to the Great Wall of China while it was raining cats and dogs, but still had a great time. I had some Peking duck, walked around the shopping district and the malls. I used the metro extensively, which was super efficient. I visited the amazing Lama Temple, climbed to the top of Jingshan Park for a fantastic view of Beijing, and looked around the Hutongs Museum, which showed the old Beijing and was very well done and absolutely fascinating. Well everyone, I arrived in Beijing from Shanghai via the bullet train, reaching speeds up to 350 km/h. If you haven't watched my Shanghai video, then go ahead and watch it straight after this one. I departed from the bullet train station Shanghai Hongkou, which is about a 25-minute Didi ride from the center of Shanghai. Didi is the Uber/Grab in China. Make sure you download and set up the Alipay app and a couple of VPNs before you go to China. As always, there was lots of scanning of baggage and passport checks and security. Now, there's not a lot of restaurant options in the station. There's a few kiosks and vending machines. None of the vending machines accepted my Alipay, and they do not accept cash, but my Alipay worked at the kiosks. The bullet train is very similar to the Japanese Shinkansen, but feels a little newer. I was in the business class section, so equivalent to the green car on the Shinkansen, and as expected was super comfortable. The general class also has the same 3+2 layout as the Shinkansen. As I said, it was super comfortable, and I got to see a lot of the countryside and a few smaller cities between Shanghai and Beijing, which was really nice. I stayed at the Novotel Peace Hotel in Beijing, which is a great location and close to the upscale shopping area and a couple of malls. The area also has Rolls-Royce and Ferrari dealerships just in case, as well as banks, ATMs and fast food like McDonald's. Now, speaking about McDonald's, fried chicken is more popular than burgers in this part of Asia, and if they still have the matcha affogato, don't miss out on it. It's absolutely amazing. The Novotel is only 2 stops from the Forbidden City area, and I would recommend it on price, facilities and location. Now, Tiananmen Square and the Forbidden City are both usually included in a single tour. Honestly, there is not a lot to see in Tiananmen Square. It's just a square with a lot of security to get into. We were sternly warned by the guide to make no angry gestures, or we would get detained and would be on our own. Some tours let you skip Tiananmen Square and just take a tour of the Forbidden City. I would recommend you take that option and book a tour that starts queuing for the Forbidden City as early in the morning as possible, no later than 8 AM. The earlier your tour starts, the better, as queues are massive year-round and the sun was absolutely beating down on us all morning. We spent over 3 hours in queues, and we only got 3 hours in the Forbidden City, which was just not enough. It's the world's largest palace, 180 acres and 3 major palaces and 900 structures with many exhibitions. The moat around the city is 52 meters wide. 52 meters! For almost 500 years, the Forbidden City was the seat of power for the Ming and Qing dynasties. A couple of interesting facts on colours. The yellow roof tiles are considered the colour of the Son of Heaven, representing supreme power, earth and centrality in Chinese cosmology. Ordinary people were forbidden from having yellow roof tiles. The walls and the columns are mostly red, which represents happiness, vitality and good fortune. I recommend you do a little research before going, watch a couple of YouTube videos, know a little bit about the history and the major points of interest, and then stay after your tour ends. Make a full day of it, but be aware there aren't many places to sit, so when you find one, take it. For the Great Wall, I arranged a private tour departing Beijing at 7 AM to beat the bus tours with their hordes of tourists. And I recommend you do the same. There are lots of gift shops and restaurants at the drop-off point, and a cable car takes you up to the actual wall. It is every bit as breathtaking as its reputation suggests, even with the rain. So the CyberIrishman has finally made it to the Great Wall of China. I'm about 90 minutes north of Beijing. This part of the wall was started in the Ming Dynasty in the 1400s. It is absolutely spectacular, it's breathtaking. Pictures don't do the place justice. Unfortunately, it's absolutely horrendous rainfall here today. It's kind of a rainy part of China, it's almost to be expected, but it's fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful. I feel very privileged to be here. Let's take a look around. Just look at the size and the scope of this thing. It truly is a wonder. Words just don't do it justice. So this part of the Great Wall is built with brick. It's whatever material was convenient in the location the Great Wall was built, because it's a very long wall. Other parts are built in granite, some are built in sandstone, and believe it or not, some are built only in willow. This place is fascinating. I have to be honest, the Great Wall itself was worth the effort it took to get to China. Look at this thing! Well, yesterday was an absolute disaster today when it came to the weather. It was absolutely lashing rain at the Great Wall. But today is beautiful again. I'm going to head to the Lama Temple and see if I can get in there. It's probably going to be pretty busy, but it's early in the morning, so I'm prepared to queue for a little while, and we'll take a look around there. Well, I made it to the Lama Temple. I had a really easy ride on the subway. It only took about 15 minutes from where I was. I got here, there was a massive queue. I thought, uh-oh, are you going to get in here, Andrew? Well, indeed, it was no problem. The queue was super efficiently managed. I got through the whole thing in about 15 minutes. So I'm delighted I stuck with it. Let's take a look around. The temple itself is a very active monastery with both worshippers and monks, so it's important to be respectful of the site. You can get a bundle of incense as you enter in order to purify the environment and to carry up your prayers to the heavens. It was built in 1694 as a palace and was converted to a Tibetan Buddhist monastery in 1744. It is arguably the most important centre of Tibetan Buddhism outside of Tibet. Now, the temple's main feature is a 26-metre tall Buddha statue, carved from a single block of white sandalwood. The statue represents future Buddha. It was gifted by the 7th Dalai Lama in the 18th century and is recognised by the Guinness Book of World Records as the largest statue in the world carved from a single block of wood. The Hall of the Eternal Blessings houses 3 golden Buddhas side by side, representing past, present and future Buddhas. And almost as impressive was the ceiling above the statues. It was very intricate. The temple holds thousands of Tibetan Buddhist scriptures, artworks and relics, many gifted by emperors. It's not just a spiritual site, but also a repository of rare cultural heritage, reflecting centuries of Buddhist art and devotion. Outside, there are many souvenir stalls and shops converted from hutongs. Hutongs were the original single-story houses from old Beijing. More about hutongs later. Next on my itinerary was Jingshan Park, just to the north of the Forbidden City, which is just to the north of Tiananmen Square. You need to get tickets in advance and know which gate you need to enter from. It gets very crowded both at the ticket gates and the viewing platforms at the top, which give a spectacular view of Beijing and the Forbidden City. Honestly, there isn't a better viewing point in all of Beijing, and it costs less than $5. The park itself is absolutely beautiful and a great place to walk around and power down a little. There are several waterfalls and rock gardens, all with a story attached. A large flower garden which was in bloom whilst I was there, and a bonsai tree avenue. It is a people's park, and there were several groups singing patriotic songs around the park. These were very popular and had great crowds, with many people singing along. The best view is from the pergola at the top of the park. It takes about 25 minutes to walk up there, but you're going to want to slow your roll. It's absolutely beautiful, so slow down and enjoy the journey. Whilst I was leaving via the East Gate, I noticed you could rent audio guides, which I wish I'd known about, and also has a gift store. All in all, this was a must-do, much better than expected. The last stop in Beijing was an unexpected highlight. It's a museum in the Beijing Hutongs district. Hutongs, as I said earlier, are the old single-story houses and neighbourhoods from old Beijing. There are many of these neighbourhoods in Beijing, and many of the houses have been converted to gift stores, restaurants, and now, very popular, Airbnbs. The Beijing Hutongs neighborhood houses a fascinating free museum with models and recreations of the old neighborhood. Recreations of the inside of homes, including memorabilia, and the stories of important personalities of the era. It even talks about how the US government gave scholarships to residents in the early 1900s. There's also a coffee shop and a few gift stores on site. It really is done very well. And with everything else in Beijing, I wish I had more time there. It's not on many people's radar, but you guessed it, it is another must-do. On a side note, if you have kids with you and they are getting whiny, take them here and threaten to make them use these toilets if they don't behave themselves. That should frighten the shit out of them and quiet them down. The CyberIrishman is back in Japan and I'm on my way home. But before I go home, I've picked up 2 of these, the hottest gift from Japan at the moment, all over TikTok. If you'd like to win one of these 2, then all you need to do is subscribe, like, turn on notifications and comment to any 2 of my videos. You can start off with any of the videos linked at the end of this one. Well everyone, thanks for joining me again. If you are looking for cybersecurity or AI training that doesn't put you to sleep, please reach out to CyberIrishman.com. I bring the same enthusiasm to training as I do to my travel videos. Please remember to subscribe, comment, like and turn on notifications, as I have videos coming up from Shanghai, Thailand and Vietnam very soon. I'm Andrew Howard, I'm the CyberIrishman. I hope to see you again soon.